Nigel Farage is to back scrapping the two-child benefit cap and restoring the winter fuel payment. I'm going to read into this more from the Independent, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from The Independent with the headline that Nigel Farage is to back the scrapping of the child benefit cap and restoring the winter fuel payments. So Nigel Farage is attempting to regain control of the narrative after taking a week of holiday while the Commons was sitting, will pile further pressure on the Prime Minister over benefit cuts. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share across social media so others can notify this video. So I guess a couple of questions you might be asking. Well, first of all, why was he on holiday? Well, at the same time as I am, when he shouldn't have been. So he should have been there for, especially as a politician, in very important debates that were taking place last week. He should have been there. There's no really excuses for it. But it also tells you as well about him as a person when it comes to actually wanting to deal with your problems as your problems and your issues that you currently have. Now, that's not to say that he isn't entitled to holidays, but that's why we have half terms. You go on half terms where MPs are not sitting. Hence, this week would have been the perfect week for him to do so, but he chose not to. But anyway, so why is he backing? So let's say hyperbolically, this is what he's attempting to say this week. So it's possible that by the time you guys see this video that he's already made the announcement and he's saying that he wants to restore the winter fuel payment or bring back the child benefit cap. It's entirely possible that this might be a hypothetical from the Independent and he doesn't actually say these things. But let's say he goes along with this. Okay, let's just say he goes along with scrapping the child payment and restoring the winter fuel payment. Regan, you're somebody who wants to restore the winter fuel payment and to remove the two-child benefit cap. How does this make you feel? For me, like, yes, more voices to U-turn on these things is something that is a good thing. The two-child benefit cap has been a detriment to many people, and especially when people want to have a family, they are limited and restricted by what they are, based on the income that they earn. I don't believe, but the problem is with the two-child benefit cap, and this has been an aggregate problem, is that polling after polling has showed that the majority of the public support the cap because their mindset is that a lot of people are just literally taking the mick when it comes to benefits, when in actual fact it's really not. It's not something that people can just jump on the bandwagon and then get there. As for the winter fuel payment, I said at the time I thought it was wrong. I think it was terrible to scrap the universal winter payment, and it was actually the Treasury that pressured the government into doing so. I felt at the time, not directly the government wanting to do this, something the Treasury was applying the pressure on the Chancellor at the time, and I was very much against it, and I was very concerned about the possibility of people dying during the winter by not having this winter fuel payment. Now, since then, no people have died. That's the reality. At least no stories that I've heard have said that anyone who has passed away has been a direct result of the winter fuel payment changes. Now, that doesn't mean to say that it can't happen next winter or the winter after that. But one thing it definitely does do is hurt pensioners. And Nigel Farage is trying to appeal to people who those who are fed up of the Conservatives and Labour. And this is him trying to move a bit further away from what he is perceived to be seen as far right, to show that that he understands people's concerns. And this is his way of trying to gain some narratives here. Do I actually think that if he was in power, would he actually do these things, these policies of actually restoring the winter fuel payment and actually scrapping the child benefit cap? No, not for 1 second. I don't believe him for an absolute second, because he's a charlatan, he's a liar, and he's proven himself to be a liar on a number of occasions, and you shouldn't really take anything what he says for granted. I do like the fact that he's saying this, like, because I approve of these policies being changed, but I don't trust him. I feel like he is just doing this because it benefits him for a narrative, for publicity, rather than actually from terms of policy. But I digress. So let's have a read a bit more into this, you guys. So, Nigel Farage is preparing to outflank the Prime Minister on benefits by committing to restoring winter fuel payments in full to all pensioners and scrapping the two-child benefit cap. Now, it is understood the Reform UK leader will try to appeal to more left-wing voters in a speech this week. So it's the piece from last week, just for reference, where he will brand Sir Keir Starmer one of the most unpatriotic prime ministers in our history. I think that's a bit tenuous when you talk about some of the previous prime ministers that we've had in our history. The speech will pile further pressure on Sir Keir, who's already braced for a major rebellion from his own MPs on upcoming welfare cuts and facing growing concerns over the direction of the Labour Party under his leadership. Mr. Farage's upcoming speech, first reported in the Telegraph, marks an attempt to regain control of the narrative after he was criticised for taking a week of holiday while the House of Commons was sitting. The Clacton MP was abroad while the Prime Minister struck a major UK-EU deal and signed a treaty to hand over the Chagos Islands to Mauritius. Yeah, while important things were taking place, he was on holiday. While MPs have left Westminster for recess, Mr. Farage is expected to return to politics arena and say the Prime Minister is out of touch with the working people. He doesn't understand what they want and how they feel about the big issues facing Britain. It's going to be the very same working people that will vote reform at the next election and kick Labour out of government. Reform UK is riding high in opinion polls after it stormed to victory at the local elections, winning nearly 700 seats, as well as overturning Labour's hold on Runcorn and Headsby constituency. The latest opinion poll from YouGov revealed that Youth Reform is the most popular party among voters at 29%, followed by Labour on 22% and Liberal Democrats at 17%. The Conservatives are in fourth place at 16%. Reform sources said Mr. Farage is already outflanking Labour, revealing plans to scrap the two-child benefit cap and restore the winter fuel payments in full to all pensioners. The payment was previously made to all pensioners, but Labour reduced it to only those receiving pension credit in one of its early acts in government. Labour now appears to be scrambling to counter Mr. Farage's move, with reports emerging on Sunday that Sir Keir is gearing up to scrap the two-child benefit cap. That would be his second U-turn following months of pressure over Labour's approach to benefits. While Downing Street has previously said there is no one silver bullet to tackle child poverty, when pressed on whether the government would scrap the cap, sources have now told the Observer that the Prime Minister thinks ending it is the right thing to do. It comes after costings released by the Child Poverty Action Group, the CPAG, shows that 109 children are pulled into poverty by the police every day. That's day, guys. That's pretty frightening. The number affected will continue to increase until 2035, when the first children born under the turn 18. The charity says scrapping the cap would be the most cost-effective way to lift kids out of poverty. This has been the argument for it. But however, many people think still, many people according to YouGov polls still think that the policy, that the two-child cap is a good thing. But that's something we need to continue to win hearts and minds over when it comes to the two-child benefit cap. It's disheartening to know that more and more children are pushed into poverty against their interest. Children don't know, and they need to be given everything they need to have the best possible future that they can be given. And not all parents can give them that. That is the harsh reality. And we should do everything we can to give them what they need. But I don't trust Nigel Farage in any way, shape or form that he actually cares about this, that he's actually, that is something that he's doing. I just feel like he's riding the coattails of Labour's, where Labour's position is on these things, rather than actually somebody who actually cares about this stuff, because he's never mentioned it. He never mentioned it in the last general election. I remember when we went through the contract, there was nothing with regards to this. That's why the sudden change of heart. To me, it comes across as jumping on the bandwagon. That's how it comes across to me. But some people may disagree. But what do you guys honestly think? Do you think Nigel Farage is actually doing this? Do you think he's going to call for scrapping the two-child benefit cap? If he said it already by the time you've seen this video, restoring the winter fuel payments. How does this affect the narrative if he does say these things? Let me know your thoughts and more on this down in the comment section below. If you found this video informative or helpful, hit that like button, share it across social media, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out Rumble and Patreon for exclusive content as well. And if you want to financially support me, click that join button, the join button down below, right below me, to become a YouTube member as well to financially support the work that I do. And anyone who does, it is greatly appreciated. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.